Good morning, friends. This is Daddy Day Trader with an accountability series update, day 18. And I'm still recovering from my cold. So I wanted to talk about my biggest red day in a while, down $7.15. Talk about kind of how that happened and what went through my mind today and how I got triggered and ended up with had a decent day going and then just like cratered it, unfortunately, and that's really sad. It makes me upset. So I want to walk through that, and then at the end of this I included like 16 minutes of me just kind of bumbling through my trades today that I took. So if you feel like a laugh, you can watch that and kind of see my recap, but mostly it was just to punish myself to go through every single trade and acknowledge that if it was or was not in my trade book and should I have taken it or not, where I got triggered, and then kind of the snowball that occurred from there, blowing past my max loss of $4 and going into a $7.15 loss, only having like a few good green trades today. So disappointing, all things said and done. But I'll go through quickly like how it went. So I got in. So I didn't do my outside run this morning because I wasn't feeling well, but I did do a little bit of walking on my treadmill, my desk treadmill. So I felt like, okay, I got a little bit of blood flowing on my desk treadmill. Was looking at my top gappers, took two trades in the morning that were within my trade book. They were fine. Took a third trade. Was already feeling a little bit triggered from the two trades before because of the fact that they had not gone in my way. So I took a third trade and it went up immediately. And I did my awful thing I do, and I stopped out prematurely before it would have stopped me out, and then it went up $2 a share or whatever. So probably should have acknowledged I probably should have stopped right there. Should be like, you're not trading your trade book, and I think I may have to add that to my my rules. Is if you ruin a good green trade and you don't trade it properly, you should stop trading, because there's a couple things going on there. You're not trading your trade book, so you're breaking the rule. I guess I never acknowledged that breaking the rules to the green side should be considered just as bad as breaking the rules to the red side. So maybe I need to add that to my trade book and say, hey, if you break your rules to the green side, you need to stop trading. Because you're probably going to then be a little bit triggered and not really even acknowledge it. Like today, I didn't acknowledge it. I didn't acknowledge that I was triggered, even though I probably was. I wanted to keep trading, and so I did. And I had a couple more trades that were, respectable. One thing I did start today was setting more of a confirmation of the break of VWAP versus allowing my entry point just to be the break of VWAP. So setting an alert a few steps above VWAP so as to get that confirmation, which would be helpful to not get false breaks through VWAP, because there's obviously a lot of those. And so I think I was doing that pretty good today. I felt pretty good about that. That's something I'm going to keep doing. And then I came, so things are slow. I'm at about plus 22 cents green, which is great. I'm feeling good about that. I still feel like I missed that one trade, but okay, still. So I'm gonna end the day. I go inside. I'm playing with the kids a little bit, and I come back out, and I'm about to start my recap, just to talk about what happened. And I see that one of the stocks I was watching like all morning, SNES, was kind of hovering below VWAP. It went up from $1.50 to $2 while I was inside. So I think that really okay, now I've missed I was in one green trade, and again, I go away for like 5 minutes, and I miss another really good green trade that set up that I was watching for an hour. And I think internally, I was like, oh man, I'm really upset now. I'm pissed off. I'm gonna trade vengefully. So then that's what I do. I trade in a way that's not becoming of a day trader. And I just start kind of rapid firing whatever's going up, not really thinking about. So I think too. Okay, so then what happened was I go over to another stock, MBOT. I've had a $2 alert. So when it crosses $2, it alerts me set like all day, waiting for it to go above, because that's like a breakout trade, which isn't in my trade book, and I shouldn't have been trading it, but I still at this point was like, F it. I'm going to trade this thing because it's hitting my alert I've had set all day. So I do. And then obviously it doesn't work out. It flushes down multiple times. And then maybe, I think it went up to like 212 before it went back down again. So awful trade. So now I'm red. I was green and now I'm red on the day by like, 50 cents or whatever. Super not happy about that. And then it just spirals from there. I go to the next one, trade it. It's in my recap, but I over traded big time on a bunch of different stocks. Caught one out of all those trades. So I go from plus 22 cents down to minus $8.50 or something. And then the last trade was actually a really good breakout trade, but the damage was done at that point. And I only made $1 on that trade because the thing went flushed from 215 all the way down to 175 in like 1 second. So although I made money on that trade, it wasn't enough to get me out of the red. And had it not flushed that badly, I would have made it maybe half my loss back. So I would have been down, $4 instead of $7 or $8. But just a bad, I really regret how I acted today. It's sad, really. It's not. I thought I was like getting past being triggered, and thank God I'm not trading with like big size right now, because that would have been ugly. So I think what I'm going to have to do today is go back to my trade book and add some more trade rules in there about fumbling a green trade and what that means. You should probably stop trading. Again, you're not showing the respect for your rules if you're exiting a green trade early instead of letting it go because you're already triggered from the 2 previous trades. So I'll be back at it tomorrow, hopefully with a better, more professional attitude towards trading. And we'll we'll work it out and keep moving forward and take this as a lesson learned day. And I had held myself together pretty well, and I feel like the last time one of the other times I was triggered was also when I wasn't feeling well and sick. So maybe that's also something I should consider, is if you're not feeling well, what are you doing in here? Take a sick day just like you would any other normal job. But I just really enjoy trading, so taking a sick day is hard for me because I don't want to. I want to keep getting the experience, and I think that this is part of it, is getting that experience, but not. Yeah, this is why I'm not ready to size up yet. This is why I can't keep an equity curve going up like this. It's like, and then it's this and this and this and this, and it's not even. Yeah, it's more like this, and then so it's going down. But in one of my chat groups, someone posted their P&L over like the last couple of years, and someone that does really well, seemingly on a day-to-day basis, but is now just doing well after having like a huge drawdown. Like they were negative $40,000 or whatever, and he's been climbing out of that for a while, and he's doing really well every day. But it just goes to show, like, some things need to go down before they go up, and that's where I'm at. I'm going down before I can come up again because I'm struggling to see like how to enforce my own rules. Like how do I stop myself from trading today? I don't know. Like I'm the only one that can do it. I didn't do it today, so like how do you do it? I don't know. So I need to think about that too. Is how do I force myself to stop trading? It's hard. It's hard to stop trading. So all right. Well, we'll be back at it tomorrow with a better attitude. But I love trading. It's fun. It's exciting. It's a challenge. It's a puzzle, and I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't mastered my emotions, but I know I can, and I know that this is going to work, and I'm excited about that. So I'm going to keep at it, keep trying, knowing that I'm on the brink of something great. Just kind of keep going, keep pushing forward, keep seeing these days and learning from them. Like I haven't felt this triggered in a while, so uh, I'm not immune to it, and I never will be. But I need to stop live trading and do something else when I feel this way. I guess I'll give myself credit for not changing my dollars purchased. I had like a $50 purchase of stocks, and I didn't change that to like 500 or whatever, trying to make it up. So at least I stuck to that. That's good. And I'll give myself a little credit there. But that's just a throwaway. So um, yeah, okay. Thanks, guys. Back tomorrow. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated, just feeling kind of overwhelmed with the the poor trading today. Poor attitude. Again, this is a business. It's not a hobby. If I was to act this way at a job, I'd get fired. So I really need to think about that, and I need to add to my trade book a couple different things in there about green trades and messing those up and stopping after that. So okay, all right, guys. Be back tomorrow, and thank you. All right, take care. This has been a Daddy Day Trader Accountability Series Day 18 update. Stay tuned for that recap. It's more for me than you, so don't feel like you need to watch it. But all right, bye, guys. All right, good morning. So we're gonna do a recap of all my trades, see kind of what went wrong, where I got triggered. It was a sort of a emotional day for some reason, and I definitely didn't have my composure about me. And I've already talked about that in my kind of solo intro. So now let's look at the trades real quick, go through those. I'm going to try and go through each one individually just to punish myself more, and maybe that'll make a bigger impression for next time. So the day started off pretty good as far as like control and trading my setup and things. At 6:06, I took a trade for the break of VWAP over 424, and I got in at 430. And then what happened on this one is like immediately went up. I wanted to get out, but I hit the wrong hotkey. I hit my market out hotkey, and since it's pre-market, the hotkey didn't take, and it didn't get me out. And then this thing obviously went from 46 down to below where I entered it. So eventually I got out of that one at $4.20. So that was a 50-cent loss. But I got out before it flushed all the way down here. So I guess I did start off with kind of like not trading my trade book in the sense of my max loss being 1%. It was more like 2.5%. So, or yeah, maybe 2%. So I should have got out of this one quicker. Again, I had some profit in it, but I hit the wrong hotkey. And instead of getting me out, it just said, "Oh, hotkey denied. You can't mark it out pre-market." So then at 6:19, right here, I got back in at $4.22, and it went up up. So I sold out most of my shares there, made back a little bit of money. And then once it came back down to 416, I've sold the rest of my shares out. So that was, again, an okay trade for me. And then at 627, I took another trade here, and I got in right where I wanted to at 424. And then, I messed up this trade because I didn't stick with my trade book, and I did what I always do, which is I'm one bigger red trade and one kind of mediocre trade into this. And I've got my third trade. It's going pretty good. And so I do what I always do, and I kind of just started exiting it as it was going up. I was out of it at 432. So again, made a little bit of money on this one, and then as you can see, it it went from, 4. So it got down as far as 424. So basically where I entered it, never below that, and then went all the way up to 584 or whatever it did. Oh no, sorry, it went all the way up to 636, 638. So I was pretty disappointed in that particular trade, but I thought I had gotten over it, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of break even for the day. This isn't too bad. Not in a big hole. Let's move on. There'll be another setup. Then at 634, I traded MBOT. Let's see. Made a little bit on this one at 634. Okay, so at 634, it came up through VWAP with some volume. I mean, this was pretty wild, like pretty big topping tail candle here. So I got in at 634, and then it went up, sold out my shares at 172. So made a little bit of money on that one before it came crashing back down again. So I made some money on that one. So I was positive on the day, like 22 cents or something. And then I accidentally, so one thing I did do today was, which I haven't done really in a long time, was twice today I hit this buy button when I was trying to click into the window, and triggered a purchase order I didn't want. So that happened twice today, which is kind of funny. So one time it was 4 shares, the other time, then I changed my template to just be 1 share instead of 4 shares. So missed out on that one. And let's see what SIDU is doing right now. It's about to go above my little marker here at 1089, but this thing is crazy. Okay, let's not worry about that. No reason to go further in the red today, I don't think. We'll just watch it for a second, see what it does, because it's got volume and it's cratering. All right. So let's go back to MBOT. Traded it. Again, I bought 4 shares on accident, so I immediately got out of those. Obviously, I lost like 2 cents, so on a hotkey or a mistake, I lost like 20 cents of my 50-cent profit on 4 shares. So, okay, that was disappointing, but whatever. That was an accident. And then I did the same thing another time on NVFY. I bought in 1 share on accident, not really meaning to, and got out. That was like a 6-cent gain, so that was okay. But again, like, be careful when you're clicking into your order window that you don't activate an order that you don't want, and certainly check your share size. I have mine defaulted to 1 just because my hotkeys automatically calculate how much I buy. So if there is an accident that happens, 1 share isn't going to be the end of the world. So just a tip there. And then, nothing was going on and I was kind of done. I was up 22 cents. It's like, okay, I'm green a little bit. We can go ahead and end the day here. I'll do my recap. So I go in the house, I'm getting some water or something like that, and I come back out and I see that one of the stocks I had been watching for like an hour, SNES, um, does this right here at 8:09. So watching this all morning, I leave to go get some water, come back, and I see this candle here when it went from 148 to $2, which I think really triggered me. I was kind of pissed, and I couldn't really hold myself back. So then I started doing my trade whatever comes up thing, and I went over. I saw that MBOT was getting to a level where I had marked out. So I saw that MBOT was going to, hold on, at 8:16. MBOT was going to a level where I had marked out like, oh, if it gets above 201, this thing could really go. So I bought in at 201 and then immediately got stopped out. And then it goes back up again. So I'm like, okay, I'll get back in at 202, and then immediately get stopped out. So now I'm two red trades down on this one. Should have stopped, didn't stop, got triggered more so because now I'm red on the day. I was green, now I'm red, which shouldn't matter too much, but I traded outside my trade book, way away from VWAP, just trying to get like a breakout trade. And it didn't work, obviously. So now I'm feeling triggered. I go over to SIDU, and this is just no good. What's it doing? SIDU is all right, and this one had big spreads. It's like not a stock I should have been trading. And at 8:22 here, I'm kind of trying to trade it for the break of VWAP, and obviously it doesn't break VWAP and just flushes. So that's unfortunate. And then it recovers, and I'm not traded anymore at this point because I'm frustrated. So 2 bad trades on that one. Sort of not in my trade book though. Like, yeah, it's breaking VWAP, but the spreads were too big, and it's not really one that I should be trading. So then I go back over to SNES, which has now gone back down. So as you can see, I'm like over trading at this point, like crazy. Shouldn't even be. I should have just done my recap and not done any of these trades. But hey, this is going to be a lesson for me on getting triggered. So at 8:32, I'm back in this one here as it's breaking VWAP, which is like, okay, I'm feeling, these are decent trades in my opinion. Like we got volume. I marked it out. I bought it like as it was coming up through VWAP at 156. It goes up to 159, and I get stopped out for basically a break-even trade. And then this one kind of like consolidates, not doing much. I set a marker for like 159 or something to tell me when it goes up to that level. So I'm going back to MBOT now. Oh, MBOT's at 204. So I go back to MBOT. Oh, it's at 204 at 8:35. So we're here now. So now I'm like, oh, it went above, where I bought it before. Here, let me get back in. It's gonna run. So I get back in at 204 and then get stopped out at 203. Then I get back in at 204 again. I get stopped out at 202. No, I get stopped out at $2. So that's a 4-cent loss. So now I'm just like, kind of like, oh my God, I'm just really firing off trades, rapid fire, not thinking much about it. And I buy in at 8:37. So here, and I get in at 205 again, and it goes up to 211. I sell some shares there, then it crashes back down, gets stopped out. So probably a break-even trade there. I'm not done yet. So then, I'm now more in the hole. Go back to SNES, and at 8:41, this thing is going above where I thought it would at 160. So I buy in at 158 and then get stopped out for more or less a break even trade. And then I get back in at 159, 160 at 842. Let's see. So here, 842. Get back in. Get a little bit of a good trade on that one. And then I sell out for, so that was an okay trade. Made a little bit of money on that one. But again, I'm just rapid firing all these orders, hoping for something. I'm really hoping at this point that I can catch something that's going to go up. So really, really just bad trading on my part. Awful risk management. I mean, went past my max loss by like almost double. So, and then we got SIDU going up again. What's it going to do? Oh, it went from minus. Yeah, it's crazy. Can't trade this one. Now that I have my mind back a little bit, I don't want to trade it. So back to my trades, and then I go to, let's see here. I'm still on SNES as it's going up. I'm really feeling like I'm going to catch something here, catch a huge move up. Buying at 175 at 851 because it's going up again, but it's super choppy. Buying at 175, get stopped out at 174, and then it goes back up. So now I'm back in at 178. I get stopped out, and then I go in again at 184, at 854, I'm in again at 854 here. And I get stopped out so stopped out for break even. Jeez, a lot of trading going on here. And then I get in it again at 854. I get it at 187. Stopped out. Get in again. Stopped out. Wow, this is crazy. I didn't even know I did this many. And then, the only trade that actually went in my favor today, which then reversed on me. So I got in at 859. It's finally the move I wanted, right? Like I got in here at 189 right here. Okay. And then this thing goes up all the way to 214. And I sell out at 194 and 207. And then it flushes all the way down. So I got most of my I got like, 3/4 of my shares out between 194 and 207. And it was actually like, had cut my loss in half. I was doing pretty good on it. And then, I ended up only making $1 on this trade after it was all said and done. And that was my last trade today. So I'm red on all 4 stocks I traded today. And I know that was kind of a quick recap of my stock trading. I don't expect anyone to watch that whole thing because it was kind of boring, but so disappointed. So that's the recap. Mostly just for myself to see like all the mistakes I made. I mean, if I turn on the settings here and turn on trades, show trades, it won't even do it. Probably it's too many. Yeah, it's not doing it, but it'd be a lot of trades. So disappointing. And I'll end there. Thank you for walking through that with me. And I'll go over what I can, and I'll have talked about what I'm going to do differently moving forward. So, all right. Take care and see you tomorrow.